Come in.
It wasn't too long ago when you get roasted by YouTube comments, your Skype contacts, and your stepmom in tandem for using low-quality microphones to record your content. If I had a potato for every time someone compared my equipment to one, I'd be making gratins for the rest of the year. Weatherday's entire album was recorded on a headset mic, but it pierces with enough emotive strength than most other indie rock bands with the means to get a hold of a studio in the first place. Their lyrics are tenuously elaborate on the simple concept of wanting to stay close to the people you care about, but they're even more impactful when the next prickly guitar lines pelt themselves at you like an angry cactus salesman. But when you really take that magnifying glass and laser focus on what they're saying, wow, it's shattering. When you start to actually panic about breaking away from somebody else's contact that you care about, you linger on it for ages. So it makes sense that the album's 13-minute centerpiece, My Sputnik Sweetheart, is as teetered upon self-care as much as it is self-destruction. Although, actually, maybe it is more self-destruction. Opening your ribcage to reveal the maze of organs within does make me a little bit woozy. Sputnik wails at the top of their lungs urgently to the point where bits of it are falling away. You'd like to think of an earthquake that's breaking an enormous statue down the more that it shakes. So when Sputnik's voice breaks while screaming the title of the album and the layers of guitar melody sing with so much piercing emotive clarity and everything sounds like it's literally surging with messy paint-splattered romance strong enough to whisk you away like a hurricane, you feel it. These roaring moments are certainly my favourite parts on the album, but they would have had barely as much impact if it weren't for the timid parts in between which twinkle like a hopeful promise and settle you down, not hard stopping the song, but at least cooling things down before the next flaming crescendo. A minute into sleeping while you're doing your best, we're left reeling with that classic how on earth did I get into this situation type of feeling, and most of My Sputnik Sweetheart spends its 13 minutes really wallowing in a dodgy street puddle of uncertainty, but the maybe this could all turn out okay kind of uncertainty. And that's really what makes Come In a hopeful record more than a self-deprecating one, which a lot of lo-fi indie releases tend to be, given their fragile and rougher-edged presentation to suit their narrators. The piano glissandos that pull us into embarrassing paintings feel like a reassuring breath, as Weatherday sets us up for what I like to call the painting half of the album, where Sputnik goes on about this talented painter in art class whose talent and creation sparks this special feeling of inspiration and manages to steer the narrative towards better comfort. The wounds aren't healed, but you're much readier to accept that they will over time. There is actually a point in the Painted Girls theme where you're wondering, are you talking about someone else or are you talking about yourself? Is inviting somebody in a metaphor for self-acceptance and a brand new beginning? Because if that's the case, then that's actually really powerful. The melody that we heard at the start of the record returns at the very end to tie everything together, as Sputnik sings about no longer wanting to feel like a porcelain figure, a painting, or just a shell that reflects a personality, rather now being a warm and clothed human being that has finally built up the courage to open the door and invite you in.